To be able to produce a little demon from an primordial profound being, many people would not believe it if word of this got out. If Xianxia had not seen it with his own eyes, he would not have believed it to be true. The little demoness was a type of demon from the ancient times, and she was usually transformed by some strange plant and could reproduce. The little demoness was a type of demon from the ancient times, and was usually transformed by some strange flower and strange plant. Xianxia herself was also transformed from a strange plant, but she was a bit older, so this little demon girl could be considered her own kind. But why does she hate me so much? I let her go. Xianxia was very depressed. The little demon girl in Xianxia's hand had her eyes closed at the moment, and a red light shone from between her eyebrows. Xianxia said in a low voice, I am currently teaching her the human language. Don't look at her small stature. She is still very powerful. If not, she would not have been able to live until now. The little demon spirit opened her eyes and shook her elegant long hair. She looked at Xianxia and snorted, Big scoundrel, you messed up my house. Xianxia really wanted to reach out and touch this cute little demon. He said, Little demon, you need to know that I saved you. If it wasn't for me, you might have fallen into the hands of some really bad people. Xianxia quickly explained, and only after talking about the profound being did he dispel the misunderstanding. I'm not called Little Goblin, I'm called Xiaoyao. Although that's right and saved me, I still feel like he's not a good person. This little demon's words made Xianxia very unhappy. He could only stick out his tongue and make a face at her. Xiaoyao, what happened over there? Why are you and your residents inside these profound being? You were frozen for a very long time. Xianxia asked. Everyone was very curious about what was happening in profound cold ancient realm. I don't know. I only remember that it suddenly became very cold. There was a lot of snow, a lot of things were frozen, and at that time many of my companions were frozen to death because I myself was a fire flower, so I was very resistant to the cold. When Xiaoyao thought back to this matter, he felt extreme grief, because she was the only one who had survived. From her, Xianxia found out that there had once been a snowfall in the profound cold ancient realm, which resulted in the appearance of many profound beings. Xiaoyao, come with me from now on. You don't have anywhere to go. Xianxia rubbed her little face with her jade fingers. Thank you, sister, for taking me in. I will repay you, Xiaoyao said with a joyous expression. Sister Lian, aren't you afraid that she'll be poisoned to death? Xianxia said softly. This little demon did not have any attack power, but since she was formed from a strange flower or herb, she should have some power. Bad guy, you're underestimating me. I'm not afraid of poison. Back then, I lived in a patch of poisonous mushrooms, Xiaoyao said. Xianxia nodded his head. In order to protect themselves, little imps have to live by the side of many powerful poisonous flowers and herbs. Little thing, I'm not a bad guy, Xianxia declared in a very serious tone. Humph. I won't bother with you anymore. You look like a bad person. Xiaoyao flew over to Xianxia's head and turned into a very beautiful pink little flower. It attached itself to Xianxia's hairpin, making him very surprised. Xianxia changed his appearance to another one and said, Sister Lian, I will go to other areas that sell profound bing. Wait for me to return. Then we will go to Demon Charming Association together. Then go quickly. My place is also going to be open for business. After leaving the Sky Demon Pavilion, Xianxia immediately ran towards the nearest large shop and went to the place that displayed the profound bing. He used the Chaos Divine Eye to observe the profound bing, searching for treasures inside. This shop was not very big, only around 20 to 30 profound bing. Xianxia did not find any profound bing from here, so he quickly left and went to the next shop. He ran through 5 of the larger shops in northern Demon City and returned empty-handed. Although he could see that there was a profound bing-s with something inside, there were no treasures inside, only a pile of very old weeds. When Xianxia returned to the Sky Demon Pavilion, he found out that more than half of the profound bing here had already been sold. Xianxia, I can't bring you to the Demon Charming Association yet. One of our large sparite vein has been taken. All the spirit demons there are injured and are on the run. I need to go there immediately to take a look. Xianxia had also just received the news. Xianxia took out a few relive Dan and handed them over to LV Qinlian. These are some of the relive Dan. Maybe they will be useful to you. LV Qinlian did not have many relive Dan, so the more this kind of thing, the better. She did not reject it and accepted it. Xianxia really wanted to know which power actually dared to provoke this group of poison spirit demons. He had originally planned to go to the Demon Charming Association to see the profound being, then go to the profound cold ancient realm. Now, Xianxia had no choice but to change his plan. The illusion of the profound cold ancient realm was very bad, and it was not suitable for people to build cities. Although there were no longer any blizzards or things like that, they would occasionally blow out large amounts of cold air. It was said that the strength of this kind of ice beast was extremely terrifying. The strong ones could reach the strength of a worldly immortal, and the average one had the strength of nirvana tribulation. Many of the people who went in as a party were killed by these ice beasts. Furthermore, this was only a danger outside of profound cold ancient realm. In the depths, there were even more terrifying and unknown dangers. If one did not have the strength to go in, it would not be easy to think of coming out. After leaving the northern goblin city, Xianxia headed towards the north, and felt even colder and colder. In less than half a day, he arrived at the world of ice and snow. There were originally mountains and forests here, but they were all sealed up by ice. In front of them was a large expanse of ice, and cold winds blew in waves. This place was only the borders of the profound cold ancient realm, and was not very deep yet. Some would even form a group of 100 people and enter. This way it would be safer, and if he entered alone, only the strong would be able to enter, but there were very few of these people. Previously, LV Qinlian had also advised Xianxia to not let him enter the profound cold ancient realm alone, but he felt that his escaping ability would not let him die inside. After the cold wind died down, it became very quiet, making people feel very eerie. However, at this moment, a loud explosion and trembling broke the dead silence. There were people fighting, and it was a battle between a large group of people. All of them were very powerful. Xianxia used Heaven Tour method. He immediately went to check on the situation. Little Ape King, what is the meaning of this? Don't think that just because your father is the Golden Ape King, you can randomly steal other people's things. Hearing that, Xianxia immediately understood that Little Ape King and his group were plundering other people's things, but he was very strong, so he did not give in, but chose to clash with Little Ape King and the rest. Xianxia had long since disliked the Little Ape King. He did not expect to meet her here. At this moment, he had already swam over and was looking down from above. As expected, the Little Ape King was with the Black Tiger, and they even brought 8 people with them. Looks like they were planning to enter the profound cold ancient realm to search for profound being. The one they snatched from was a big bearded middle-aged man. He was tall and sturdy, 1 head taller than Little Ape King and the rest. Although his clothes were tattered, he did not sustain any injuries. Old Rhinoceros, as long as you hand over that holy dragon scale, will spare your life. Little Ape King held a golden blade in his hand. Surrounding the bearded middle-aged man, was shocked. He had previously heard that someone had pulled out a gigantic beast scale from a very large profound being, but he did not expect it to be a dragon scale. Although it was just a single scale, a powerful holy dragon was extremely large. That scale was at least the size of a courtyard and was enough to build several sets of armor. It was simply a priceless treasure. Of course, Xianxia did not care about this kind of thing. He had the profound wood diamond armor, so he was much stronger than the holy dragon scales. Keep dreaming. Even if you die, this daddy will not let you steal away a spar. You son of a bitch, you have completely lost your father's face. The man roared, took out 2 large blades, and rushed towards Little Ape King. His aura extremely fierce, with every step he took. He caused the ice on the ground to crack, and even created a burst of powerful energy, causing the ice on the ground to shatter. Little Ape King quickly retreated and shouted, "Quick! Stop this old rhinoceros." The others had already started to attack the burly man, but his defensive capabilities were extremely powerful. Black armor suddenly appeared on his body, and as the weapons slashed down, sparks burst forth. This old rhinoceros is really powerful. Xianxia exclaimed and immediately rushed over. Little Ape King was chased by the big-sized man until he was running for his life. The people following closely behind, no matter how they attacked, could not make the big-sized man slow down at all. This man was made up of an old rhinoceros and could be considered a demonic beast. His strength was not bad, especially his defensive energy. Even after being attacked for so long, he was still able to move as if he was flying. Using the coordination of the shrinking step and spatial travel, Xianxia caught up to Little Ape King in an instant and suddenly appeared beside him. The sudden appearance of a person made the Little Ape King pale in fright, and the big-sized man behind him along with the others did the same. "You? It's actually you." Little Ape King was even more surprised and shouted, because the appearance that Xianxia was using now was the disguise of the black blood magic sunflower. Xianxia only laughed, then took out the black blood magic sunflower, and waved at the Little Ape King. "I also gave good stuff from the profound Bing. Do you want to rob me too? Die!" When Little Ape King saw the other party take out a poisonous substance like the black blood magic sunflower, although he was terrified, in order to prevent the other party from using poison on him, he did not care about the big man chasing behind him, and slashed his blade towards Xianxia. The blade used by the Little Ape King might be a good weapon for others, but in Xianxia's eyes, it was just like a piece of scrap metal. He used his fist, which was wrapped in the white tiger glove, to hook towards the edge of the blade. With a wong sound, the large blade vibrated, and unexpectedly burst open from Xianxia's fist. Little Ape King was shocked by Xianxia's punch. He immediately felt that Xianxia's strength was strong enough to break his blade with one punch. Humph! The man who was chasing behind him snorted in anger, and suddenly rushed over, smashing his head fiercely into Little Ape King's chest. Kacha! The golden armor on Little Ape King's chest shattered, and he flew out, crashing into the ice mountain. "Kill them!" Little Ape King shouted in anger. Although he was hit by the big-sized man, he did not die. After all, he was the son of the Ape King. "Brother, you deal with the one in the back. Leave this Little Ape King to me," Xianxia told the big-sized man. He then locked onto Little Ape King and used form displacement shadow to teleport him over. Before Little Ape King could understand why he suddenly appeared in front of Xianxia, his face was fiercely punched by Xianxia. "Bastard!" Little Ape King was once again sent flying, cursing loudly. His body flashed with a gold light, and soon after, it became a giant golden ape the size of two people. Transforming into his original body would allow his strength to increase by a lot, but in Xianxia's eyes this was much easier to attack. Although his body had become a lot larger, his speed was not slow. In a few steps, he had already arrived in front of Xianxia. His fist was as fast as lightning, bringing a gold light with it. It struck towards Xianxia. Xianxia jumped and dodged, his fist smashing into the ice ground, and Little Ape King's other long and big arm also swung towards Xianxia. The huge palm seemed to be able to slap Xianxia into a need. The power behind it was extremely terrifying. Even the ground was trembling slightly. The power of 10,000 mountains. 10,000 tall and majestic ice mountains suddenly appeared behind Xianxia. This ice mountain diagram only flashed by, but it gave Xianxia a huge amount of power. Xianxia used the ground killing, allowing him to wield the power of the earth. When Little Ape King's palm pressed towards him, he saw a translucent giant palm charging over, smashing into his golden ape giant palm. Boom! A loud sound shook the forest, and Little Ape King's gigantic body was blasted flying. The gigantic palm that was attacking Xianxia was filled with cracks and bloody scars. Seeing this scene, the people that the Little Ape King had brought no longer fought with the burly man and rushed towards the Little Ape King. If the Little Ape King died, they would all die. Great Void Stellar Seal. A star map suddenly appeared in the sky and fell down fiercely, like countless powerful meteors landing, smashing onto Little Ape King's body with rumbling sounds, causing Little Ape King to wail in pain as blood and flesh splashed out. Just as Xianxia wanted to continue his attack, a roar came from the horizon. "Stop!" Just as Xianxia appeared, a ball of golden light fell from the sky and landed beside Little Ape King. "Little brother, This is the Golden Ape King. The big man's face was solemn as he shouted to the Golden Ape King in the distance. Golden Ape King, how did you teach your son? This little bastard actually wants to kill me and take my things. Brother Rhinoceros, I'll apologize to you here. I promise there won't be a next time. If there is a next time, I'll personally punish this little bastard myself. The Golden Ape King said. The Golden Ape King gave a pretty good impression, so the rhinoceros didn't pursue the matter any further. After all, the little Ape King was also beaten badly. Father, this guy has a black blood magic sunflower. He did not sell it to the Demon Empress. The little Ape King changed back into his human form and glared at Xianxia as he spoke. His hand had already shattered and his body was covered in blood, but he could still speak. So what? Those are his things, not yours. If you dare to steal someone else's things again, I'll cripple you. Hurry up and apologize. Judging from his appearance, it didn't seem like he was acting. Moreover, his own strength wasn't weak, and if he wanted to kill someone and steal their treasure, he probably would have done so long ago. Little Ape King clenched his teeth and apologized towards Xianxia and the rhinoceros. However, because he was not sincere enough, he was slapped by the Golden Ape King a few times, making his attitude much better. However, Xianxia and the rhinoceros both knew that this little Ape King hated them to the extreme. The Golden Ape King left with little Ape King and the others. The rhinoceros immediately thanked Xianxia. Thank you for your help, if not, the little Ape King would not have been taken down so easily. Xianxia laughed. Big brother rhinoceros, there's no need to be so polite. That rhinoceros asked. Little brother, are you going to the profound, cold, ancient realm? Xianxia asked. That's right, big brother, you two. The rhinoceros shook its head. It's getting more and more dangerous inside the profound, cold, ancient realm. It's just my home outside. If you go in by yourself, it'll definitely be very dangerous. Xianxia did not expect the situation inside to be so dire. Why would it become so dangerous inside? The rhinoceros replied. Let's walk while we talk. Xianxia and the rhinoceros walked towards the profound, cold, ancient realm together. But the rhinoceros did not go in. There are many profound beings in the profound, cold, ancient realm, especially in the depths where we can find all kinds of strange and unique profound beings, and it is very possible that those profound beings are growing strange flowers and herbs, because this profound, cold, ancient realm originally has high-level strange flowers and herbs. If it was before, it would be safer to enter, but since a month ago, a group of icemen appeared, it has become extremely dangerous inside. I wonder what kind of power that group of icemen actually have to be able to control that group of ice beasts. Also, this group of icemen really like to eat human flesh. If they get caught, they will all be eaten. Xianxia now understood that the reason the profound, cold, ancient realm was in danger was because of that group of icemen. The rhinoceros continued. Those icemen are not only able to control ice beasts, but they also have a very powerful freezing energy. It is said that they can freeze people at will, and after some powerful weapons are frozen, they will break when they fall to the ground. Xianxia followed the rhinoceros to a very high ice mountain. Standing on the top of the ice mountain, looking at the vast ice plains in the distance, the rhinoceros pointed at the vast ice plains and said, That place is the profound, cold, ancient realm. It is very safe outside. However, it is very difficult to find profound being, and one can only go deeper in, but the deeper regions are already occupied by the ice people. The rhinoceros knew that Xianxia's strength was extraordinary. Otherwise, it would not have taken down the little Ape King so easily. Furthermore, Xianxia's attitude towards entering the profound, cold, ancient realm was very firm, so he did not try to dissuade him. Xianxia bid farewell to the rhinoceros and stepped into the profound, cold, ancient realm. After walking at a slow pace for half an hour, he had already felt that this icy cold power was very similar to the one released by the profound being. Xianxia came here to find more profound beings so he could use them to refine pills. This was because the energy contained within the profound being was extremely strong and scary. Previously, he had inquired about the method to find the primordial profound being, which was to walk around randomly. If there was a profound being deep underground, one would be able to sense it while walking on it. This was because the cold energy released by the profound being was very special and strong. Walking on the ice plains, Xianxia could see many deep craters in the ground. He now understood why some profound being were so expensive. Some profound being would even be at the bottom of some huge crevices, which were difficult to dig. Xianxia had already passed through a few of them, but he had not sensed any profound being at all. It had already been 2 days since Xianxia entered the profound cold ancient realm. It was like a large frozen ocean inside the profound cold ancient realm, only that there would occasionally be a group of tall mountains, and most of them were flat icelands. Truly amazing. There are many pitfalls. Xianxia saw that many of the pits had been dug very deep. It could be seen that this piece of ice was extremely thick, and the thing that was truly frozen should be located very deep in the ice. I think that a lot of profound being were broken by those powers. Maybe some forces already got their treasures from the profound being, but they just did not announce it to the public. Along the way, when Xianxia saw those pits, he knew that there were many profound being that had been dug out. There was no night in the profound cold ancient realm. The sky was always covered by thick clouds, and from time to time, there would be a cold wind blowing. If someone without any power came in, they would definitely be frozen to death. Until now, he had never seen those ice men and beasts. After Xianxia wandered around here for 5 days, he finally felt the profound being. It was the cold energy unique to profound being, and anyone who approached it would be able to feel it. Xianxia was pleasantly surprised. He released his divine power and probed the exact location of the profound being in the depths. Naturally, he would not release it like the others did. I found it. There shouldn't be a problem with the distance, but this profound being is really big. After Xianxia locked onto the profound being, he used form displacement transposition and used the power of the spatial laws to bring the profound being up. This piece of profound being was very big. It was 2 people tall, round, and green. It released waves of green light, so it could not be considered a special profound being, because its shape was very ordinary, and its color and light were also very common. After he took the profound being out from the depths of the frozen ground, the large amount of special icy cold power released by this round ball of profound being quickly spread to its surroundings. Very quickly, a group of over 30 people arrived in the distance. They were all wearing fiery red clothes, and Xianxia could tell at a glance that these were the Fire Divine Palace's clothes. Fire Divine Palace did not suffer any serious losses, so the rankers hidden in the Fire Divine Palace were also unknown. It was just that Fire Divine Palace had been keeping a low profile during this period of time, so no one knew of his true strength. Xianxia hurriedly put away the profound being, but the group of Fire Divine Palace people saw it from afar. It was so big and also released a green light. It was always a normal profound being, and it was very easy for people to think that there was something inside. Xianxia was not afraid of the people from the Fire Divine Palace, and he even liked these people from the Fire Divine Palace a lot. This was because all of them had fire souls in their bodies, and from his point of view, these people had come to deliver the fire soul to him. As the people of Fire Divine Palace slowly approached, Xianxia suddenly felt that something was wrong, because he saw that behind the group of people from Fire Divine Palace, there was a group of white people following. Their skin and fur were all as white as snow. Their eyes flashed with white light and they exhaled white smoke. The icemen mentioned by the old rhinoceros must be the ones in front of him. What surprised Xianxia was that these icemen were actually together with the Fire Divine Palace. This made him wonder if there was any cooperation between the Fire Divine Palace and the icemen, or if the Fire Divine Palace could enslave these icemen. If that was really the case, it meant that the Fire Divine Palace wanted to use these icemen to drive people into the profound cold ancient realm to search for profound being. Not only would they drive them away, they might even kill them and loot their goods. The group of Fire Divine Palace in front of him were not weak. A few of them were the kind that were only 1 step away from leveling up. What was even more surprising was that behind this group of people, on the flat plain, large ice beasts suddenly appeared one after another. These ice beasts were all in the form of wild beasts. Lions, tigers, wolves. It was just that its size was huge and the icy cold power on its body was extremely powerful, so it was unknown how it was formed. The group of ice men were all riding on top of those huge ice beasts, and a few sharp ice spears were condensed in their hands as they faced Xianxia. ready to throw them at him at any time. Xianxia never thought that the opposing forces would suddenly become so powerful, especially the ice beasts. The cold energy that they released was extremely strong, causing Xianxia to be wary. He could feel that the cold energy that the ice beasts and ice men were releasing were very similar to that of the primordial profound being. The mysterious primordial profound being already contained a lot of powerful energy. If these mysterious ice men and beasts could absorb those profound being and turn them into their own energy, then the released cold energy would definitely be very powerful. If it were only the people from the Fire Divine Palace, Xianxia would definitely not be afraid of them. But now, there were those ice beasts that were neither human nor ghost, and they were also very strong. He felt that even magical corruption gas would not be able to deal with these things. Let's go and find a chance to take care of these Fire Divine Palace guys. Xianxia was not a match for anyone. Furthermore, he was not clear about how strong the ice men and beasts were, so he decided to leave first. The people from the Fire Divine Palace had already seen that he was about to leave, and anxiously shouted, "Lock him up, don't let him leave. He just obtained a large piece of profound being." Xianxia had already kept the profound being. Although he heard this, he still turned around and ran. Just as he took 2 steps forward, the ground suddenly trembled, and translucent thick ice walls appeared around Xianxia, forming a gigantic barrier that trapped Xianxia and the group of Fire Divine Palace inside. Xianxia, who was running frantically, crashed into the thick ice walls and was stopped. These ice walls were very sturdy, yet his fierce strike did not leave any mark on them. "Don't even think about running. Obediently hand over that profound being and become our slave. Then you will continue to live. Otherwise, you will be reduced to the food of the ice demons behind me," a middle-aged man from Fire Divine Palace said indifferently. Looking at his appearance, one could tell that he did this frequently. Xianxia finally understood why this profound, cold, ancient realm had suddenly become so dangerous. It was actually caused by the command of a group of powerful ice demons so that they could monopolize the profound being inside. What Xianxia was puzzled about was, how exactly did the people of the Fire Divine Palace control these ice demons? The ice demon that the Fire Divine Palace mentioned was extremely powerful, and there were a lot of them as well, and the power of frost was extremely strange, seeing that they could easily create such a powerful ice wall. It could be said that in the profound, cold, ancient realm, they were the absolute rulers. How could they listen to the orders of these Fire Divine Palace fellows? Xianxia suddenly had an idea and asked, "Ice Demon, the thing behind you is called Ice Demon. Aren't you from the Fire Divine Palace? Why are you colluding with Ice Demon, who kills humans in the profound, cold, ancient realm? You know too much. For you to be able to come here alone means that you have a certain level of strength. You should understand that we won't let you off. You should know what to do now." The middle-aged man's voice became gloomy. If it was before, Xianxia only planned to escape first before saying anything, but now he knew these ice men were demons, and secretly rejoiced in his heart. His green dragon demon-slain broadsword was specialized in suppressing demons, and he had mastered techniques to deal with them. In particular, that holy devil-suppressing seal was a nightmare for demons. Xianxia said, "If I were to give you the profound being, you would let me go. I will give it to you, but I'm afraid that you all are unwilling." The middle-aged man became impatient and his voice became even colder. "Of course, you must be our slave." Xianxia laughed coldly. "Since that's the case, you all must die." Once the word "die" was said, Xianxia stepped onto the shrinking step. His body emitted a burst of cyan light and flew towards the group of ice demon beasts at an extremely fast speed. In an instant, Xianxia entered the group of ice demons. This action made it hard for the group of Fire Divine Palace people to understand, because in their eyes, this was an act of seeking death, even though Xianxia's speed surprised them. However, they soon felt that something was wrong, because they could sense a very strong aura of a dragon. Xianxia had already taken out his green dragon demon-slain broadsword. When he flew over, he released the devil-suppressing holy power and used it to slash at the ice demon riding on top of a giant wolf. The appearance of the devil-suppressing holy power caused these ice demons to feel extremely terrified. They all shouted out in a high-pitched voice that caused one's hair to stand on end. and their bodies even released a very strong ice-cold aura that instantly condensed into a thick layer of ice armor to protect their bodies. The green dragon demon-slain broadswords were poured into the berserk devil-suppressing holy power, causing this divine blade to become millions of kilograms heavy. When it violently slashed down, the wave of strong pressure that it emitted collided with the cold energy, and like thunder, it cut down everything in its path. A rumbling sound was heard, followed by a sharp scream. Before the ice demon could even touch Xianxia's divine blade, its body was crushed by the strong air pressure. By the time the god's saber had completely slashed onto the Iceman's body, the Iceman's body had already shattered, and the huge wolf beneath him was also split into two by Xianxia. In just an instant, Xianxia killed an ice demon. Under normal circumstances, this ice demon would be extremely strong, especially with its defensive power. However, facing Xianxia's divine blade and devil-suppressing holy power, it couldn't even withstand a single blow. Green Dragon Demon-Slain Broadsword, it's Xianxia. The people of Fire Divine Palace panicked. Xianxia's Green Dragon Demon-Slain Broadsword and devil-suppressing holy power were both the nemesis of demons and had a very strong killing power towards them. Seeing these demons with the powerful icy cold power so weak, Xianxia was overjoyed. As expected, these ice demons were afraid of the devil-suppressing holy power and the green dragon demon-slain broadsword. "Quickly kill him," the middle-aged man from devil-suppressing divine palace shouted. Xianxia had already leapt to the top. At this time, the group of ice demons on the ground all threw ice spears, as waves of angered and sharp cries came out of their mouths. Shua, with a slash from Xianxia, the green dragon demon-slain broadsword suddenly grew in length and dozens of them appeared. They were like a gigantic fan that enveloped the ice demon and ice beast below and shattered those ice spears. Before, when the demon master of the Heaven Thunder Purgatory was facing Xianxia's green dragon demon-slain broadsword and devil-suppressing holy power, he had felt that they posed a great threat, but now, these icemen were like paper in Xianxia's eyes. What was even more terrifying was that when the wave of sword shadows from the green dragon demon-slain broadsword pressed down, a loud noise came out. The sound of thunder was actually the power of the 10th layer of devil-suppressing power. All sorts of violent powers exploded out at the same time, enveloping downwards and colliding onto the ice ground. Those ice men and beasts were smashed into pieces by Xianxia's blade as if they were made of mud. "Kill him!" The people from the Fire Divine Palace were shocked. They never thought that Xianxia would actually be so powerful, killing off the group of powerful ice demons and ice beasts with a few breaths. They thought that it was all because of the green dragon demon-slain broadsword, and this made them even more anxious to snatch it. After Xianxia slashed his blade down, he immediately rushed towards the group of people from Fire Divine Palace. With that speed, it could be said to be terrifying, and in half a blink of an eye he charged into the crowd. Blood blossomed into the air. The berserk dragon power, accompanied by a terrifying killing intent, surged out and filled the entire ice barrier, causing people to feel as if millions of lives had been lost in this battlefield. And Xianxia was the god of death here. Just as Xianxia charged into the crowd, he instantly killed over 10 people. All of them were not very strong. Their reaction speeds were not as fast. Like weeds, they were all killed by Xianxia. Some of them had their heads chopped off. Some of them were broken at the waist. The scene was extremely bloody, but compared to the intense killing intent that surged out from Xianxia, these people were nothing. As the killing god heart jumped, an endless killing intent gushed out from it, causing Xianxia's strength to become even stronger, and made Xianxia's strength contain an unmatched killing intent. This wave of killing intent enveloped everyone, causing them to feel that it was the most terrifying thing in the world. "Don't be afraid of him, he's just bluffing," that middle-aged man roared loudly, making it so that their auras weren't that weak. At this moment, only a few elders remained. They attacked one after another, throwing out palms and punches in unison. Waves of terrifying fire attacks struck out, actually slowly melting the huge ice barrier that was shrouding them. The thing that Xianxia was least afraid of was fire, so no matter how many experts there were in Fire Divine Palace, he would not be afraid. Just as he was about to attack, Xianxia was hit back by multiple flame attacks. Your fire soul is not bad, and these flames have a certain degree of vitality. I will accept them." Xianxia laughed out loud. He opened his mouth and activated devouring magic kung fu, locking onto the incoming flame power, and his dantian also became a fire dantian. Hiss! Xianxia inhaled fiercely, and all of the flame energy that was attacking him once again entered his mouth. It only took a few seconds for it to be completely swallowed by him. With his current strength, it would be a piece of cake for him to refine the flames that had been devoured. At this moment, his body was emitting a bit of fire chi, which was released when he was refining the flames. Those people from the Fire Divine Palace were stunned. The combined attack just now, even if it was a worldly immortal, would not dare to face it head-on. However, Xianxia was not only unscathed due to the attack just now, he was now consuming their flames. Monster! The group of Fire Divine Palace suddenly realized that Xianxia was also a strong flame user. They knew that Xianxia was a powerful alchemist, but they never expected his flames to be powerful to such an extent. The people from Fire Divine Palace wanted to escape, but the ice shields that the Icemen had released became an obstacle in their escape. "You must die!" Xianxia roared in anger, and all of the innate chi within the 30 heaven pellets in his body gushed out, transforming into a berserk dragon power, causing a large piece of the ice plains to crack from the shockwave. Songlong slash! The force released by the green dragon demon-slain broadsword surged like waves, suddenly rushing forward. The waves were as sharp as blades, and the waves also seemed to be formed from countless sharp blades, sweeping across in a formidable array. Ah! As they screamed out miserably one after another, those from the Fire Divine Palace, in the face of Xianxia's full power attack, had no way out. They could only allow the blue wave blade to slash at them, as lines after lines of shocking bloody scars appeared on their bodies. Now, there were only 3 people left. One of them was a middle-aged leader, and the other 2 were old people. Their entire bodies were covered in visible bone blades wounds. Xianxia, who had experienced the Nirvana tribulation, was terrifyingly strong, and was not something an ordinary person like them could compare to. They truly regretted provoking Xianxia, and if not for that, they might have continued to lead that group of ice demons to sweep this field of ice. Xianxia was unmerciful. He immediately teleported and leaped to the side of the 3 people. With a swipe of his claw, he pierced through their bodies and activated devouring magic kung fu, absorbing their fire soul. You are engulfing our fire soul." That Fire Divine Palace middle-aged man's face was filled with shock. It had always been only his Fire Divine Palace who plundered other people's fire soul, but now it was their turn to be robbed by others. Xianxia remained silent as he pushed his devouring magic kung fu to its limits and sucked all 3 people's fire soul out. Ah! Ah! Xianxia's way of plundering their fire soul was extremely barbaric, causing them to feel extremely miserable. These were 3 cyan-colored fire soul-s, which had been merged by Xianxia and turned into blue-colored fire soul. Xianxia killed the 2 old ones, then used the soul-absorbing devil spell to search the middle-aged man's memories. He wanted to know how the Fire Divine Palace controlled those ice demons, as well as a few things related to the Fire Divine Palace's activities in the profound cold ancient realm. Soul search. A spell. The middle-aged man felt his memories being pricked by someone as he shouted in fear. "You can die now." Xianxia used the soul-absorbing devil spell to carry out a soul attack and directly erased the middle-aged man's soul. Xianxia was extremely excited when he found out about this explosive thing. "I never thought that the Fire Divine Palace would have been here already. Many people were killed by them in secret and a large number of profound being were taken by them. Those ice demons were let out by them from the profound being, and they used a secret technique to tamper with the ice demon's soul while the ice demon was sleeping, allowing them to control a large number of ice demons. Does this Fire Divine Palace want to rule over the profound cold ancient realm?" Su Meiyao asked. "That's not it. Profound cold ancient realm is still very powerful deep inside. They don't dare to go deep there either. However, they used these ice demons to find a large number of profound being. I know where they stored them." This made Xianxia excited, because he no longer needed to look for profound beings aimlessly. As long as he finished looking over the places where S were stored, he would be able to obtain a large amount. Now, Xianxia knew that all those ice demons were from the primordial era and were let out by the Fire Divine Palace. Furthermore, the Fire Divine Palace knew that the ice demons existed within the Profound Being, and in order to enlarge the Ice Demon Legion, they wantonly swept through the outer circle of the profound cold ancient realm, trying to get as many of them as possible. As for these ice beasts, they were all native to the profound cold ancient realm, and it was unknown when they came out of it and continued to reproduce until now, but they were still quite powerful. However, these ice beasts did not have much intelligence and could not defend at all against sudden sneak attacks. Xianxia ran up the profound cold ancient realm alone. According to the memories he found, he was rushing to the base the Fire Divine Palace set up here. The big shots of the Fire Divine Palace seemed to know the uses of these Profound Being. Not only did they gather the treasures inside the Profound Being and the Ice Demon, they were also doing other things as well. According to the middle-aged man's memories, when the Fire Divine Palace gathered a large number of Profound Being together, it could produce a very strong icy cold power. This kind of icy cold power was extremely special and came from the Profound Being. As for what uses it had, the middle-aged man had no right to know either. The place where the Fire Divine Palaces were stored was deep underground. They had built an extremely large underground palace there, and over the years the Fire Divine Palace had kept a very low profile, but the secret was that the profound cold ancient realm was able to control such a powerful force. If Dtion fully recovered his powers in the future, then among the Dtion, the strongest person would be the Fire Divine Palace. Fire Divine Palace's way of keeping a low profile was smarter than those ancient powers. When Xianxia found out about this, he couldn't help but feel a chill down his spine. Traveling through the night, he took 3 days to arrive next to a huge ice mountain. At the side of the ice mountain there was a cave that he could enter, but the security was very tight, so it wasn't easy to silently enter. Such an important place must definitely be guarded by a very strong person. If he were to face the siege of those kind of worldly immortals or immortal monarchs, it would be difficult for Xianxia to resist, so he planned to quietly enter that underground palace and steal away the large amount of profound being that were stored inside. Now is the time to test the art of change. Xianxia saw snow falling from the sky, and the snow was being blown everywhere by the strong wind. The cave entrance is only guarded by the Ice Demon and Fire Divine Palace's fellows. There aren't many people in the depths, and it's very dark. Long Shui said. Xianxia took a deep breath, turned himself into a thumb-sized drop of snow, and floated towards the cave. If he became a butterfly or something like that, it would definitely arouse suspicion, and right now, there was already some snow that was as big as a goose feather blowing towards the cave. Xianxia had sneaked into the snow and entered the cave along the wind. After entering, the lump of snow that was formed from Xianxia rolled on the ground for a bit, and under the watchful eyes of the group of ice demons and people, it easily entered the depths of the cave and successfully dove in. Although he could successfully sneak in, he was still worried that he would be discovered. If he alarmed the experts here, they might let the experts take the profound being back, and at that time it would be very difficult for him to get hold of it. He did not want to miss this chance. This passage was very wide, so walking along it side by side with 7 or 8 people wasn't a problem. Based on Long Shui's state of mind when he went out to explore, he could see that there was a deep pit at the end of the passage that led to the underground palace, where he could directly jump into it. Halfway through, there was suddenly someone in front. Xianxia immediately turned into a small stone, quietly sitting on the ground. What kind of people entered the profound cold ancient realm and actually annihilated one of our squadrons? That group of people are considered very strong in the current Dtion's eyes, and they even brought a group of ice demons with them. They were all exterminated. Based on the situation with the life pearl splitting apart, they all died in batches. Person walked out of the tunnel and said, "It should not be them. There are also a few that have that kind of strength, but I have a feeling that if it wasn't them, for example, Zhuozhenchuan, who is going to guard the Devil-Subduing College, Xiang, who is going to guard the Devil-Subduing College, he probably won't come here right now. His wife's divine weapon's heavenly country is currently being harassed by the devil race. Forget it for now. Since there's such a guy in profound cold ancient realm, we shouldn't go out during this period." Tap, tap, tap. Xianxia, who had turned into a small stone, was kicked by one of the fellows, rolling on the ground. Bastard! Xianxia secretly cursed in his heart. According to the conversation between the two, Fire Divine Palace already knew that the group of people were dead. Fortunately, he did not impersonate that group of people. Otherwise, he would have been easily discovered. After the two of them left, Xianxia turned into a small worm and continued moving forward. This pit is very deep, and you can tell that it was built to allow for a large number of people to enter and leave. At this moment, he guessed that there should be a large number of people or ice demons in your underground palace. It was not easy for Xianxia to descend either. There were many layers of formations around, and they could not be touched. Fortunately, his formation could be considered passable as well, as the formations laid along the way could be easily avoided. From this, it could be seen that this underground ice palace was extremely tight, but Xianxia still managed to sneak in. Xianxia roughly estimated that it was at least 2,000 meters deep. If it continued, there would be over 300 array formations, and if there was anyone that wanted to enter, there would be a special array master that would control the closing of the array formation, allowing those people to pass through. When Xianxia went down, there were already a few people coming up from below. These people were all patrolling back and forth, and one could tell that they protected this place very well. Judging from the traces of digging, this must have been built more than 10 years ago. Long Shui said. More than 10 years ago, the Fire Divine Palace was already here. Xianxia did not expect them to arrive so early. Arriving at the underground, it was yet another vast passage, but it was not very bright and was very suitable for Xianxia to enter stealth. There were many people guarding here, although they were not very strong, but if this group of people worked together, Xianxia was not confident in being able to kill them in one strike. Even if he could exterminate all of them in a short period of time, it would cause a huge commotion. If he did not have absolute confidence, Xianxia would definitely not make a move, so he had already missed out on two people who possessed Fire Soul. They had to pass through this passage to reach the underground palace. Xianxia went through a narrow crack at the middle of a thick metal door and arrived at a very grand hall. Even though it was very dark here, Xianxia could see it very clearly. What is the Fire Divine Palace trying to do? To build a palace for their emperor in the future. But they shouldn't build an underground palace. Xianxia thought in his heart. He carefully flew towards a door based on the memories he had swallowed. Behind the door was the road that led to the huge warehouse. That place was located at the center of the underground palace, and was just below it. On one hand, these array formations were to prevent people from barging in, and on the other hand, if anyone touched those array formations, they would alert the experts guarding this place, so Xianxia was extremely careful. He had already walked a large portion of the way, and definitely would not fall short. There weren't any guards patrolling this path, but there were many extraordinary formations, and they were all very powerful and very difficult to break through. If a very powerful formation master were to enter, it would take a few days to silently break through the formation. But Xianxia only used more than 6 hours to pass it. He only understood how powerful the power of the ancient code was when he was here, otherwise he would not have been able to come here so easily. Of course, his current strength was still too weak, and he was still unable to fully display the power of the spatial profound pearl. Otherwise, he could have easily gone to that warehouse. This warehouse is very powerful. I can feel that the terrifying icy cold power is being transported to a certain place. Could it be that there's something extraordinary up there? Long Shui said in shock. Can you check inside? Xianxia asked. I couldn't detect it, but it's filled with the strange icy cold power that the profound being released. It's very dense, and you know that my consciousness can't see through the profound being, so my consciousness was blocked by the dense icy cold power. Long Shui said. In front of the warehouse there was a huge sealed iron door. Xianxia could only go through space to enter. I hope there's nothing powerful inside. Even if there is, it's best not to discover me. Xianxia said in his heart. He, who had transformed into a mosquito, did not lose any strength in his body. Therefore, he could use the power of the laws of space to allow him to traverse the space through this door. Under normal circumstances, traveling through space would cause fluctuations in space, which could be easily felt by others, but he wouldn't. This was because the law of space he grasped was one with nature, so traveling through space was very natural. There's actually someone here. Xianxia was shocked. Although he couldn't see anything from here, he could feel it. This warehouse was filled with profound being of all sizes. There were many different kinds and colors, and most of them could release light. Xianxia estimated that there were at least 5,000 profound being here. Such a large number of profound being, and they were all of good quality. The released icy cold power were all extremely dense, which showed that the profound being that could be put into this place were all meticulously selected. As for whether or not there were any treasures inside, Xianxia did not know right now. He did not have the time to check it out. What he needed to do was to wait for the people inside to leave, and then quickly move the profound being inside. Even if the profound being did not have any treasures, they would make him salivate just by looking at them. If he were to sell them, they would be of sky-high prices. These two fellows are very strong. I never thought that the Fire Divine Palace would actually hide such a powerful guy. Seems like they are at the late period of human immortal, or perhaps at the early stages of the immortal monarch. Xianxia could feel that the two fire attribute innate Qs inside pierced through the dense icy cold power. However, even if these two rankers were powerful, they would need to use the power in their bodies to protect themselves from the icy cold power at all times. I wonder when we will be able to complete the orders from the higher-ups and revive the Ice Emperor. Sai, why did we have to do it when the Ice Emperor was revived? The two of us came here and obtained quite a few fire souls, but none of us received any rewards. From the sound of it, this was a young man. When Xianxia heard his words, he was extremely shocked. They actually wanted to revive a fellow called Ice Emperor. Little naughty dragon, do you know who this Ice Emperor is? He can't be as powerful as you, right? Xianxia asked. How would I know? But I think it should be related to this profound cold ancient realm. Didn't that big white cat say that this place was filled with snow and ice before? Long Shui said. The white tiger did indeed say it again, but at that time this place was also very dangerous. Even 10 Heaven's Supreme Lord and the white tiger did not dare to enter deeply. So what's with the appearance of the Ice Emperor here? Xianxia started to think of a plan to move the profound being away without the two of them noticing. If he could get half of it, that would be good enough. Xianxia did not dare make any big movements. The two guards in the warehouse were both strong. If he were to alarm the two of them, it might cause many stronger people to come over. So he had to be very careful, which made it even more difficult. Looks like we can only kill them. If they die, even if the people outside discover it immediately, they would need some time to rush over. You can take advantage of this time to take the profound being away. Long Shui said. Xianxia did not agree with his thought. No, what if those people come really quickly? I think I can use the drunk god powder. They were just poisoned, and with their strength they wouldn't be killed instantly by the poison. When they expel the poison, it would be me doing the deed. This will expose the drunk god magical poison, but they don't know your true identity, so it shouldn't be a big problem. You just need to hide your identity, and don't let them see through you. Long Shui said. You have to be careful. They will notify others to come over. For example, they will use communication jade symbol paper S. Xianxia thought for a moment, then said, That's easy. Keep an eye on them. If they want to use it, just destroy their jade talismans. You should be able to do it right. That's not a problem. I'll help you keep an eye on the outside, so you can act faster later. Xianxia and Long Shui discussed for a while, but only this way was feasible. In another month, that whatever profound being will start, and at that time we will definitely have the most profound being in the Fire Divine Palace. It's the strangest, and perhaps we can even sell it for a good price. The two men began to chat again. I heard that there are many famous forces that were not invited to the Profound Being Society. It is said that at that time we will also establish a Profound Ice City, and this city will specialize in selling Profound Being. This way, it will be easier for us to find the Profound Being's people to find a good place to look for our teammates, and at that time we can all… Heh. Xianxia already knew that this group of people from the Fire Divine Palace were not good people. He never thought that they would actually plot against him. If he didn't get rid of this place by itself, then in the future, those who would enter the profound cold ancient realm to search for Profound Being would mostly fall into the hands of the Fire Divine Palace. Right now, Xianxia was sure that the reason the Fire Divine Palace gathered the Profound Being was to provide that kind of special icy cold power, so that a guy named Ice Emperor could revive. Since these Profound Being are here, then Ice Emperor must be here as well. Xianxia really wanted to destroy this place, but this underground palace was extremely sturdy and would not be easy to destroy. Furthermore, there should be other rankers protecting this place. If only Bai Xing was here, I could have let her use that secret method and summon some meteorites. Xianxia turned into a hunchbacked old man, took out his death-haunting arrow and hid all of his presence to the extreme. Then, he quietly condensed his chi arrow and mixed the drunk god powder into it at the same time. Even if the two arrows could not pierce into the two people's bodies, the drunk god powder that burst out would be able to quickly enter their bodies, instantly paralyzing them and preventing them from moving or even talking, making them look like drunkards. When they went to look for the chaotic mountain in the future, the Super Yuan sect leader would know that it was the drunk god sent, and he would be the fastest one to run. This showed how terrifying the drunk god magical poison was. Xianxia suspected that the Three Horns Dragon King was affected by this, and thus was killed by the Super Yuan sect leader. Just as the two of them were getting more and more excited, a swoosh sound was heard, and two dark arrows flew out. To be suddenly attacked in a place like this was very hard to imagine. It was because in their eyes, no one could come to this place without making a sound. Even if they did not expect that someone was here, the reaction of the two elderly men caused Xianxia to be shocked. In that moment, they sensed that someone was ambushing them and immediately released a strong shield of qi, blocking the two hidden arrows that Xianxia had shot out with his death-haunting arrow. Compared to the two elders, Xianxia was still far behind in terms of strength, so he was easily able to block the qi arrow that he had condensed. Fortunately, he had already considered such a situation, so after being blocked by the qi arrow, it still exploded. Who is it? The old man let out a roar and quickly looked around, but he did not see anyone around. At that moment, the other old man's face fell. He quickly sat down cross-legged and circulated the power within his body to resist the strange energy that had suddenly appeared on his body. The power actually went as far as to numb his body. The old man who shouted also found out, his face ashen, because he recognized what the thing that paralyzed his strength was. It was one of the super old poison, the drunk god magical poison S. The drunk god powder S all entered the two old men's bodies. They would not be able to die nor move for a while, so they could only sit there and use all their strength to expel the poison. What Xianxia wanted was this kind of effect. If these two people died, once their life origin orbs ruptured, it would be discovered by outsiders and Xianxia wouldn't have the time to remove those profound being. Although those two old men had ugly expressions on their faces, although they were unable to move, they opened their eyes. They wanted to see exactly who it was that had actually managed to use this sort of strange poison to ambush them. Very quickly, they saw a hunchbacked old man skillfully taking away the pieces of beautiful profound being. In the blink of an eye, he had lost 4 or 5 of them, and it was by choosing the best one to take away as well. However, they could only bleed in their hearts. The profound being here had taken them many years, and they had spent a lot of manpower and resources to collect it, but now it had been taken away by a hunchbacked old man. Quickly, it seems like someone noticed. Long Shui urged because she already heard some noise coming from outside. Xianxia had already taken away more than 2,000 pieces, and there was still more than half of them here. If he wanted to take away these profound being and touch them with his hands, he had already used his maximum speed. In the blink of an eye, there were more than 1,000 less profound being left. The two old men sat in the middle and watched as the profound beings around them disappeared one by one, and they felt blood welling up in their hearts, but they could do nothing. They could only watch as the man brought the profound being away. Had also felt that it was enough and rushed to the back of the two old men, releasing all the fire innate chi from his body, and poured it into the bodies of the two old men. The two old men were just like ordinary people after being struck by the drunk god magical poison. Even though their bodies were strong, they would still become like tofu after being struck by the poison. Xianxia waved his sleeves, collecting all the ashes, then turned into a mosquito and flew towards the direction of the big door. In the next moment, dozens of immortal grade rankers also rushed in, because the number of profound being here suddenly decreased, and they did not have much icy cold power, so they could immediately feel that there was a problem here. Adding the fact that they were not able to contact the two elders with their jade talismans, after the group of people entered, they saw that there were so few profound being here. All of them were extremely shocked and quickly searched, yet they could not find anything. Xianxia was already familiar with the road, and quickly left the underground palace. After reaching the deep pit above, the people outside were also blocked by a group of experts, but Xianxia easily passed through them. He could not destroy this place now, but he would definitely remember this matter. In the future, he would come again, and he also had to figure out who exactly this Ice Emperor was, to actually be able to put in effort to set up this underground palace. He also searched everywhere for profound being S in order to revive him. In short, in Xianxia's opinion, the Ice Emperor was not a good person because he was mixed in with the Fire Divine Palace. In order to make things smooth, Xianxia did not stop at all and continued to fly for several days and nights, leaving that underground palace behind without any restraint. This trip also allowed him to have a deeper understanding of the hidden strength in the Fire Divine Palace, and he needed to quickly inform LV Qinlian of this so that he would have an eye for the Fire Divine Palace. Xianxia kept having the feeling that there might be Immortal King-level experts in the Fire Divine Palace. Xianxia made a trip to the profound cold ancient realm. Although he did not enter any very dangerous depths, he had profited greatly, and the profound being he obtained was probably the sum of the hard work of many great forces over many years. There was a total of 3,700 pieces, so he was not in a hurry to open them. He returned to the northern demon city, and then with that appearance he came to the Sky Demon Pavilion. The charming demoness there welcomed him enthusiastically, yet LV Qinlian still hadn't returned. When he had previously been heading towards that underground palace, he had heard that LV Qinlian had been plagued by some troublesome matters. He was very curious about what had caused LV Qinlian, the demon empress, to go there for such a long time. Xianxia was a distinguished guest here. He had called for the female owner of the Sky Demon Pavilion, a mature and attractive demoness. "Where did your big sister go? Why hasn't she come back yet?" Xianxia was in a hurry to go to Demon Charming Association to help LV Qinlian look at the profound being. "She went to take care of things. She should have mentioned to you that the sparite vein of our Demon Charming Association was taken away by someone else." The woman replied very gently, "Where is that mine? I'll go find her and maybe I can help her. She's already so strong, and she's been working on it for so long. The ones who took over your mine shouldn't be weak, right?" Xianxia said. "Yes, that group of people are very strong. Even now, we still don't know where they came from. Young master, I can tell you where Big Sis is now. If you have something urgent, you can go look for her." Some of the spirit demons here called LV Qinlian King, while some even called her elder sister. In short, LV Qinlian did not have much prestige in the Demon Charming Association, even if it was outsiders. Furthermore, LV Qinlian's personality was very gentle, and he looked very amiable and approachable. Hence, the spirit demons in the Demon Charming Association got along well with her. After Xianxia found out the location from the shopkeeper, he immediately rushed over. He wanted to ask LV Qinlian if he knew about the Ice Emperor, and he also wanted to see who the guy who dared to provoke the Demon Charming Association was, to actually be able to stall LV Qinlian for so long. The sparite vein was inside the demon realm, but it was very close to the human realm and belonged to the border region of the demon realm. After Xianxia stepped into the demon realm, he passed by a large expanse of ice mountains that were covered in ice and snow, and he saw a rolling black cloud in the distance above him. Although they had seen it from afar, they could tell that the battle was extremely intense. LV Qinlian was controlled by the Demon Charming Association, and she had already transferred most of the Heaven Realm's power to Dtion. Although she was called the Demon Empress, there were even more people who called her the Poison King on Dtion. Therefore, Xianxia was extremely shocked. Furthermore, he guessed that the person who was fighting LV Qinlian should be able to suppress LV Qinlian's poison, and have the same strength as him, otherwise it wouldn't be like this. This caused Xianxia to be secretly worried in his heart. He originally thought that other than the White Tiger and LV Qinlian, there was no one else with great strength that could compare to LV Qinlian in Dtion, but now such a strong guy suddenly appeared. Furthermore, it seems that he was stronger than LV Qinlian. Previously, Xianxia had mentioned to the owner of the Sky Demon Pavilion that the person who suddenly appeared to seize the Demon Charming Association's Sparite vein had a mysterious background. Thinking of this, Xianxia became even more worried. No wonder this power dared to take over Demon Charming Association's Sparite vein. So it turns out that they had a powerful ranker supporting them, and they seemed to be doing it on purpose to steal it and provoke the Demon Charming Association. Could it be that it was to lure LV Qinlian out? Could already see that there were many seductive spirit beasts in Demon Charming Association holding onto weapons and fighting with a group of people who were unable to tell whether they were male or female. The people who were fighting with the group of spirit beasts in Demon Charming Association were also demons. But they were extremely beautiful, with a slim figure and long hair that covered their shoulders, making them difficult to distinguish between males and females. These guys all have the smell of snakes. Don't tell me they're all snake demons, and from their aura, they seem to be ancient foreign species? It's said that these snakes can change their surname to either female or male, depending on the situation, so that they can continue their reproduction and maintain the orthodoxy of their bloodline. Long Shui said in surprise. With just a few steps, Xianxia rushed into the battlefield. He formed a palm blade with his hand. Using Holy Spirit Qi, he arrived behind a fighting devil snake, aimed his attack at the monster's back, and slashed out with his blade. Xianxia used the devil-suppressing holy power on top of its lightning speed and slashed down, causing the snake demon's throat to shatter. At the same time, the female spirit who was fighting the snake demon also pierced through the snake demon's chest. "Where's Sister Lien? Is she fighting with a very powerful guy?" Xianxia hurriedly asked the spirit demon lady. "These are all evil snake demons. They came from Evil Snake Mountain. I don't know why such a force suddenly appeared. In short, every 2 or 3 days, these fellows would come out to provoke us." She recognized Xianxia, a VIP from the Sky Demon Pavilion. Now that she had come to help, she was naturally very happy, and this VIP was also very strong. "Evil Snake Demon, don't you all know how to use poison? Why don't you use poison to deal with them?" Xianxia punched a serpent demon that was charging towards her from the side. 3 thunderous booms sounded and released 3 layers of devil, subduing method power, causing the snake demon's head to explode into pieces. The female spirit was completely shocked, because the devil-suppressing holy power and devil-subduing method that Xianxia used was extremely terrifying. These guys aren't afraid of poison. Even our big sister can't kill these little devil snakes with her most powerful poison. We just need to use the normal method to fight these devil snakes. Many of her sisters were injured. She hoped that Xianxia could help the other spirit demon beings. After Xianxia asked about the details of the situation, he immediately went to help the spirit demon beings who were trapped in the bitter battle. Although these spirit demons normally used poison, under the situation where they did not use poison, their fighting strength was still extremely strong. The sudden addition of Xianxia into the battle made the serpent demons furious, because he had killed one of them with one move. The devil-subduing method that he used was the very terrifying power of these serpent demons. It not only easily dispelled the evil energy in their bodies, it also had the mystical ability to fight against demons, and it could cause huge injuries to them. If combined with the devil-suppressing holy power, as well as the profound meaning of the word suppress, by the holy devil-suppressing seal, Xianxia could kill a serpent demon with one slap. He had initially wanted to suppress the Demon Charming Association's female goblin, then kill them all or capture some of them back alive. However, he did not expect that such a perverted person like Xianxia would suddenly appear and cause the group of snake demons' plans to be disrupted. Clear thunderclaps sounded out one after another, and the devil snakes were also relatively fewer in number. At this time, the evil woman's aura also became stronger, and since they had more of them, the situation quickly reversed, and the devil snakes were completely suppressed by the evil woman. Although these female demons were all cute and dainty, when they attacked, they were not as slow as they used to be. The long swords danced in the air and blood splattered everywhere. Broken limbs were scattered all over the ground. Very quickly, this group of little devil snakes were completely annihilated, and not far away, there were even stronger snake demon and the evil woman fighting. There were only a few of them, and those devil snakes knew that the little devil snakes that they brought with them were exterminated, And they became furious, immediately calling over a sturdy devil snake which was roughly at the Nirvana tribulation level. This devil snake was different from the other beautiful devil snakes. This devil snake had a distinct male body, a fierce-looking face, a set of stiff black armor, and a huge black blade in his hand. He wildly rushed forward, trampling the corpses of the devil snakes into a pile of meat paste. Xianxia stood in front of the group of female demons who were terrified by the application, and said in a deep voice, "Leave this guy to me. Do your best to find a safe place to hide. If you two are safe, your big sis can fight with more peace." LV Qinlian was close to these female demons, so she was sure that she was extremely anxious right now. This was the first time they had met such a fellow who was not afraid of poison. I had thought that the spirit demons of the Demon Charming Association were all female. Could it be that all of you are like us, able to turn one of you into a male when you need them? An extremely handsome man with phoenix eyes said with a magnetic voice. This handsome man's palms were pressed tightly against LV Qinlian's jade palms. His palms were actually as beautiful as LV Qinlian's, and they were even more slender and tender. The two demon kings were fighting each other. This was an extremely dangerous action. Evil Snake King, shouldn't you worry about your subordinates now? LV Qinlian's voice was cold, but she secretly heaved a sigh of relief in her heart. Even though she and Evil Snake King were far away, she could still see the situation from afar. She knew that Xianxia was here, so with him here, her Demon Charming Association demon would be much safer. If we work together, then Dtian will become our world in the future. If we work together, we can steal the resources that Dtian has now, and that will allow us to progress further in our strength. But right now, we are only sharing the resources evenly. Don't tell me that you are willing to continue like this, and wait for Dtian to return to how he was back then. For the experts of the 9 heavens of Heaven realm to rush over, there is simply no place for you to speak. Evil Snake King said, a pair of beautiful eyes that could make women jealous filled with enchantment. Let me be your woman. Don't even think about it. Back then, before I transformed into a human, I was almost swallowed by you several times. I don't want to be with someone like you who wants to swallow me at any moment. LV Qinlian shouted in anger. Don't you like men? Then I can become a woman as well. Evil Snake King laughed out loud. Humph. LV Qinlian was secretly anxious. She really wanted to release the bizarre poisonous scent on her body, but no matter how she thought about it, those poisonous scent would not come out. She still could not completely control them. If she used drunk god powder S, then she was also worried that Evil Snake King would be able to escape even if she was poisoned. When the time came, they would spread the rumors that she possessed this unique poison, and she would be in even more danger. Actually, I quite admire you. You've already gotten used to using poison. I didn't think that the innate chi in your body would be so powerful. The Evil Snake King said. You should care about your men. LV Qinlian was paying attention to where Xianxia was, and the sturdy snake demon that was flying towards Xianxia made her feel uneasy. As long as that brat dies, all of your imps will fall into our hands. That is the last resort that I left behind. You and I both know. The reason why we are unable to continue staying in the heaven realm is because we do not have much power in the middle levels and are all small fries. If not for us, who are king-level existences, we would have all been captured by him. Although many of Evil Snake King's subordinates had been killed, he did not feel any heartache at all. This time you will definitely lose to me. I can already see the fear hidden deep within your eyes. You are worried about your little demoness. You worry too much and you will never be able to progress. The Evil Snake King laughed sinisterly. LV Qinlian shouted coldly, Shut up. The one who will definitely lose is you. When have you ever been able to defeat me, you heartless and heartless fellow? Let alone me, you will never understand the power a group possesses. This is also the reason why 10 Heaven's Supreme Lord could be called Emperor for many years. The one standing in front of Xianxia was a sturdy giant who was taller than him. He held a gigantic wolf-teeth club in his hands, and his fierce-looking face was filled with malevolence and killing intent. A pair of eyes that were filled with a strange green light was staring at Xianxia. Human, I never thought that you would actually be together with these spirit demons. The spirit demons from Demon Charming Association are beginning to raise men. Haha. While laughing, this big fellow swung his staff horizontally. The strength behind it was very terrifying. It caused the space to fluctuate, and it seemed like it was about to split open. The most shocking thing was that this was only the strength of the physical body. The spirit demon girls who were hiding in the distance were all shocked, their hearts full of worry for Xianxia. They could tell that the big guy was much stronger than Xianxia. That is the evil Snake Mountain Snake General. We do not know how strong this kind of Snake General is, but we do know that their bodies are soaked in some evil techniques. Not only their bodies are strong, the evil force in their bodies are also like that. Young Master Shin, you have to be careful. None of them were stupid. They had already figured out Xianxia's identity. Only Xianxia was able to use the devil-suppressing holy power and control its profoundness. Although he had strong limbs, his brain was not simple at all. He laughed sarcastically. A guy like you should become a woman. You don't have the guts to accept the challenge. You're not even comparable to those female demons. A cyan light flashed in Xianxia's palm, and a large cyan shining blade appeared out of nowhere. The blade was surrounded by cyan dragon mist, and as Xianxia injected the devil-suppressing holy power, it released a golden mist, accompanied by a weak dragon cry. Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword. Originally, he was relatively calm, but in his heart, there was an unspeakable unease. Originally, he had victory in his grasp, but suddenly a Xianxia appeared out of nowhere. You are Xianxia. The Snake General looked at the Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword in Xianxia's hands and felt an incomparable threat. When the light shone on his body, it was as if flames were burning his body. Xianxia sneered. Originally, I only liked using this blade to slay dragons. Seeing that your snake has some power, I will let you die with this blade. The Snake General was furious in his heart. He raised his spiked mace and flew towards Xianxia, his speed suddenly increasing. Damn human, don't think that you can use this blade to kill me. I am not one of those useless soldiers. The snake would let out an earth-shaking roar, allowing him to dispel the fear he had of the Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword. Xianxia laughed in his heart. There were many shrimp soldiers and crab generals who died under his blade, but there were also many powerful fellows like the Prince Imperial Dragon. The mace swung wildly, emitting waves of terrifying evil chi. It was as if a demon from hell was howling miserably. It was absolutely horrifying. Xianxia had already revealed his identity, and was not concealing his strength at all right now. Taking a step forward, the shrinking step skillfully dodged, and at the same time brandishing out the divine blade, the devil-suppressing holy power flowed endlessly, charging into the divine blade. Boom! 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 In that instant, an incomparably shocking sound resounded through the horizon, shaking the heavens. The burst of holy light was even brighter than sunlight, causing the sun and moon to lose their luster. The ground had been destroyed to the point that it was full of holes and dust was flying everywhere. But at this time he could see a very safe and broad-back figure. Following the scattering of the dust, those charming female demon spirits whose faces were filled with fear saw that the Snake General's wolf-fanged mace had already exploded into a mess, scattering all over the ground. This Snake General's body is so strong, yet it still can't block one of his slashes. Dragon Subduing School's leader is indeed as strong as the rumors say. He is good-looking, and his strength is so strong. Fortunately, we did not make him our enemy and even established a good relationship with him. Otherwise, the consequences would have been unimaginable. No wonder Elder Sister treats him so well. So he isn't an ordinary brat. The spirit demon beings behind were all discussing, their eyes flickering with the light of love as they looked at Xianxia. Xianxia slowly let out a breath of golden mist. Just now, he had used the power of the holy devil-suppressing seal in order to heavily injure the Snake General with that blade. He paused for a moment, allowing the innate chi in his body to become much smoother, and immediately traveled through space, arriving in front of the Snake General. One of the arms of the Snake General was destroyed, but the other was completely undamaged. However, the moment he raised his foot, he was ruthlessly kicked by Xianxia. The bottom of his feet was filled with golden devil-suppressing holy power, and upon stepping on it, 10 thunderclaps suddenly sounded out. The power of the devil-subduing method pierced through the thick arm, and was crushed to pieces by Xianxiang's stomp, as though he was stepping on tree juice. Xianxiang looked at the roaring snake general indifferently. He kept his green dragon demon-slain broadsword and said with disdain, "Looks like you are not worthy enough for me to use this blade to kill you." Finished speaking, Xianxiang's fist was like cast gold, spitting out power that shook the earth. He punched towards the snake general's head. The snake was about to be killed by Xianxiang, and the group of female demons were cheering as they ran over, wanting to see Xianxiang's true appearance at a closer distance. "Ladies, all of you leave this place first. This place is currently very dangerous." Xianxiang looked at the few goblin ladies in the distance. They were all being entangled by a group of powerful snake generals. "Xianxiang, these serpent demons all came from the sky demon realm. I don't know when they moved to Dtion, but they were very cunning and hid themselves until now. The strongest part of these serpent demons is that they can withstand many strong poisons, but they themselves aren't good at using poison, because they don't have the patience to grow poisonous flowers or poisonous plants, so their goal is to swallow our demon charming association." LV Qinlian whispered to Xianxiang from very far away, allowing him to understand the origins of these devil snakes. Perhaps it would be of some help to him. If it was a demon, even if their strength was stronger than Xianxiang by a few levels, as long as Xianxiang used his full strength, he would be able to shake him. Right now, he was holding onto the heavy green dragon demon-slain broadsword, and was sprinting towards another battlefield in the distance. If it was a worldly immortal, Xianxiang might not dare to rush over like that, but if it was a demon or demon immortal, with his cultivation of devil-suppressing holy power and the demon-subduing martial arts, coupled with holy devil-suppressing seal and green dragon demon-slain broadsword, these special tools to restrain demons, he would be able to fight with them. The fighting devil snakes had already sensed a surge of energy that was extremely dangerous to them. Earlier, they felt that this wave of energy was still far away, but the speed at which it was moving was so terrifying that it caused them to tremble in fear. Demon Charming Association's Banshee Immortals also felt the strong sense of threat, but the aura of the power was not directed at them. Furthermore, they already knew that someone was helping them, but they did not care who. "He's coming!" A serpent demon shouted in shock, because Xianxiang had suddenly appeared. Just a moment ago he was still far away, but in the blink of an eye he had arrived in front of them. They came, just as these two words were shouted out. A green arc of blade light appeared, slanting towards the back of one of the devil snakes. Although the devil snakes was not cut into two, the cut on its back was very deep, the bones on its back were almost cut, and the two halves only had a thin layer of flesh and skin connecting them. Adding the devil-suppressing holy power, even if the serpent demon didn't die, it was already extremely uncomfortable. That kind of power was like burning his soul, and his body was even tormented by that kind of power until it felt like it was in a blazing furnace. Xianxiang's arrival had pleasantly surprised the female demons of Demon Charming Association, but those serpent demons were filled with anger and fear, especially the green dragon demon-slain broadsword that was radiating holy light. They hated and feared the aura that was being released. Swoosh! A Banshee Immortal thrusted her sword out like lightning, piercing into the body of the snake demon that was just hacked by Xianxiang, directly piercing through the snake demon's beast core. "This damnable fellow, everyone attack him together. Let's kill him first, otherwise we'll all die." A charming snake demon gritted his teeth and shouted. "You won't succeed." One of the Demon Charming Association's female demons shouted coldly. "Sisters, don't let them hurt young Master Shin. You have to hold them back." There were 7 serpents and 5 female immortals. Therefore, it had been extremely strenuous for them. Some of the female immortals had shocking injuries on their bodies, causing their hearts to ache. They were even aiming at Xianxiang. Looking at their aggressive appearance, it was as if they were planning to use all their strength to break through the defenses of the Banshee Immortals and then kill Xianxiang together. "Holy dragons bind," Xianxiang said in his heart, and a burst of golden light suddenly appeared on the ground. Just as the snakes stepped into the golden ground, They saw that a golden holy dragon had come out from the ground and wrapped itself around the legs of the snakes, causing them all to stop moving. It has to be said that after Xianxia refined the Prince Imperial Dragon into a holy dragon pellet, he ate that holy dragon pellet and allowed him to wield the power of the holy dragon. This kind of power was the same as the devil-suppressing holy power. It was extremely destructive towards demons. But if he had to deal with snakes, the power of the holy dragon would be even more powerful, because snakes were even more afraid of dragons. All of a sudden, she was entangled with this holy force that carried a dense dragon aura, causing all the devil heart snakes to be extremely terrified. The female immortal from the Demon Charming Association was originally prepared to die together with the snake demons, but they did not expect Xianxia to have such a plan, causing them to be overjoyed. Their killing intent became even stronger. The 5 slim and beautiful female demons were emitting a strong killing intent as they arrived beside the serpent demons. They swung their swords and pierced fiercely, causing blood to spurt out of the serpent demons' bodies. The blood blossomed and danced with the elegant and graceful sword wielded by the fairy, causing the scene to be extremely beautiful but also extremely bloody, which was so strange that it caused one's heart to tremble. It had to be said that these devil snakes were extremely powerful. Although they couldn't move, they used all their strength to protect their vital parts. Although there were many bloody holes on their bodies, they were still alive. However, when they saw Xianxia, who was standing not too far away, suddenly walking over, their expressions became even uglier. They could already see the divine blade in Xianxia's hand killing them. The holy dragon's binding could not hold on for long, and the devil snakes still had a powerful force in them. While protecting themselves, they resisted the force that was binding them under their feet. Heh! 3 of the Banshee Immortals seemed to connect their hearts together. As the devil snakes broke free from their bindings, they thrust out their swords, piercing through the defense of the devil snakes, and even the heavenly core of the devil snakes. At this moment, the devil snake sect was riddled with injuries and had no desire to fight. They only wanted to escape, but the Banshee Immortal would not let them escape so easily. Xianxia did not dare to use his devil-suppressing holy power on a large area, as he was worried that he would harm the female demons. Now that the situation had been completely reversed, he did not need to use any more strength. "Weren't you planning to kill me just now? Why are you running now?" Xianxia took a step forward, teleporting through space until he arrived in front of the female serpent demon. His thighs condensed with vigorous devil-suppressing holy power. He swung his leg towards the female serpent demon's face. What was most shocking was that when Xianxia's leg landed on the female serpent demon's face, it caused several thunderous booms to ring out. The snake demon cried out miserably as she was sent flying. Coincidentally, there was a Demon Charming Association fairy waiting there. When she flew over, she swung her sword and struck down, breaking the snake demon's waist and even smashing the heaven pill on her feet. As the number of devil snakes decreased, the immortal banshees grew more and more imposing, and soon another 2 devil snakes were killed. Used the shrinking step to quickly swim around the battlefield, and from time to time he would attack the serpent demons, slashing across the mountain, kicking on the ground and punching on the ground, breaking the defensive capabilities of the serpent demons, while the female demons always worked together with Xianxia to eliminate the serpent demons after Xianxia attacked the serpent demons. After a while, the ground was filled with the remnants of the snake demons. Xianxia released a flame and burned the bloody things on the ground. Although the female demons were injured, it did not affect their charm. Right now, all of their faces were full of flirtatious smiles as they shot glances at Xianxia. 2 of them even ran over to ask if Xianxia was injured. "What kind of deal does this Xianxia have with you two to actually stand up for you two? As far as I know, this kid does not lack women." Evil Snake King's face became ugly. All the subordinates that he brought with him had all died, although he did not care on the surface, but his heart was in pain, because they were the elites of Evil Snake Mountain. LV Qinlian laughed out loud. "You will never know what a friend is. Xianxia is my friend, so he will naturally help me, and he doesn't need anything in return. If he has any difficulties, I will also do my best to help him." "Humph, don't be arrogant. Do you think that I only have a little bit of strength? Do you think that I would not hesitate to use Do Force in such a dangerous manner in order to stall you? Evil Snake King channeled the dense demonic energy in his body, causing his palm to turn red all of a sudden and release traces of red mist.